Back at Boshemer Gymnasium, Carson-Newman downs Brevard 86-71. This is the Domino's post-game report. Adam Cavalier alongside Carson-Newman head men's basketball coach Chuck Benson. Chuck, a tale of two halves in this one. Led by 4 at the break, but then you steamroll out of the gates, a 20-4 run to open up the second half, a 13-0 run a little bit later on. What spurned the defensive pressure, coupled by offensive efficiency at the other end in the second half?
First of all, Brevard, despite that record, has a very unique offensive style. And like I said, man, when guys are making shots, and they were making tough shots, deep shots, and in fact, there were some guys making shots that typically haven't shot it like that, but they were making shots, and we were still able to sort of deal with that adversity. We made some adjustments with some zone in the second half that gave us a little bit better perimeter coverage. And then we were in the half court. We were shooting the ball. Not that we were shooting necessarily better, but we were getting some stops and still making some shots, and that was able to give us that sound lead the second half.
You talk about the adjustments with the zone. 14 steals. That's the most for the program since its 1,000th win at Lees-McRae back in 2012 to kick off the season. How much of that came from the anticipation from a bunch of players at the head of that zone?
Yeah. Well, we challenge those guys to, you more or less were having to try to cover 2, and you got to make sure that you're anticipating. We were trying to take away the quick pass and force some longer passes, some skip passes, and we have some kids that did a good job of getting a break on the ball and deflecting, and then we had some guys on the ball. Charles, I thought. Had his share of those. He had 4. Cameron Holmes had 3. So some of these guys were really, really doing a great job with active hands and getting the deflections that led to points.
6 players finishing in double figures. What's that speak to the balance of the team today?
I said that the guys after the game. I said, guys, I mean, I didn't realize at the time, but it obviously makes it hard to deal with you when you get that many guys that are able to put points up and to do it in an efficient fashion. So. I was very, very pleased with that for the guys tonight.
It's kind of a weird game. Brevard has 3 players combined for all but 6 of their scoring. You kind of alluded to Shelby Parrish, Stevie Williams, and Jamarquise Johnson earlier. But any adjustments that you made to make it a little more difficult on those 3 after halftime? Well,
obviously we didn't. Those are the 3 going in at the half that were killing us. We're going to say no, and they kept doing it. And again, I felt like those guys showed a great deal of poise themselves. Those 3, and continued to deliver for their team. I didn't expect Paris to shoot the 3 like that. The other kid, Johnson, he was like the conference player of the week a week or so ago.
Started this year.
But even having said that, his overall average was minuscule. So. That they got hot, and you got to give them credit. And they're college basketball players, and regardless of what the percentages are, when guys are confident and get a little hot early in the game, they can do what those 3 obviously did.
How did you feel your team handled a little bit of adversity in the first half? Charles Clark, Sean Jones both have to sit a little bit with foul trouble.
Well, we talk about that a lot, and how we're going to respond, and especially during the break here, our guys have. We've done a lot of talking, a lot of, soul searching, and the guys sort of came up with an agreed upon response to both adversity and prosperity. Now, it's still an ongoing learning process, man, and we have to, as the coaches, remind them, hey, we agreed upon this, and are we actually living out what we said we were going to when we face these kind of situations, and I didn't think we did as good a job, but we did better than we have at other times here recently.
Chuck, pleasure as always. Final thoughts from this big win at Brevard.
Anytime you get a conference road win, it's a reason to celebrate, and so I'm very, very happy for the team. As I think you said earlier, this might be our last time to Boshemer, so I'm glad we can leave here with a nice taste in our mouth.
All right, Chuck, thanks for the time. We'll talk to you in Hartsville on Saturday.
Thanks, Cap.
That is